Hello traders, a few days ago I sent you a video telling you about volume spikes and how they precede big moves in the underlying stock. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you the chat room, and I'm just going to scroll down. These are my daily market comments. You can see in the left margin here we've got our market rating. We have the trading system and signals on 5-minute basis all the way up to a 1-hour basis for both SPY and QQQ. We use that for our market guide. And throughout the course of the morning, I'm going to continue to scroll down. Tesla strong. Notice that right out of the gate at 840. That stock has been on a tear. I believe it's up about $22 right now. SIG, I traded that for a nice gain. That was an earnings play. Used the platform and my custom search to find it. Bought DE. Bought SHOP. Actually, I bought that a little bit later, and I show everyone the search that I use to find these stocks. And guess what? There we go, right there. Heavy volume on a 15-minute basis. This is probably 30 minutes after the open or so. Good option liquidity and stock greater than the prior day high. Very, very basic, easy search. Super powerful, especially when we combine that with strength relative to SPY, which is another criteria that we can select. So you can look down this list of stocks here. If you bring up every one of these symbols, you are going to see them moving higher. Because you're getting heavy volume and the stock is above the prior day high, there's a very good likelihood that that volume is bullish. It's fueling the stock. It's pushing it higher. So I'm going to just scroll down and show you some of the stocks that I traded. I'm going to show you the posts. DE's grinding. OLLI I was in. That was an earnings trade as well. I ended up making a little bit of money on that, not much. And there I bought SHOP. I'm going to continue to scroll down. AMD looks great. It was on the volume search. Bought CI. Bought NKTR. 10 o'clock. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you down below here where we're taking profits. CI 45-cent gain, DE dollar gain, Nectar $2 gain. Let's take a look at some of these stocks, and let's take a look for that volume spike that I was mentioning. So this is Nectar. The orange line here shows you relative strength versus the S&P, and this is a pressure indicator that we use. When we get a buy signal and the pressure is negative, it's like throwing gasoline on the fire. Huge divergence, very, very bullish. And look at what happens to the stock right at that juncture. Boom! It goes from $60 to $65, a $5 gain in minutes. I didn't catch all of that. I sold it in here for a $2 profit. I was very, very happy with that gain, and I didn't want it all to be erased. And here you can see the volume spike that the system is starting to pick up on. I dissect every trading day for the last 20 days into 5-minute increments so that I know what that average daily volume is every single 5-minute period during the day. If I want to look for a volume spike in the last 5 minutes, I can. If I want to look for one on a 15-minute basis, I can. We're always comparing those same slices of time so that we can identify these volume spikes. This is one of the many proprietary indicators that I have. You will not find this anywhere else. So let's take a look at the exact search that I had mentioned to you, but first let's go take a look at some of the others. DE. There's DE. I got long that very early in the day and took profits. You can see in here, yeah, that was a nice volume spike, but we're in it right here. The volume is already starting to increase here. Let me overlay the SPY, and you can see what the market was doing. As soon as I saw this, I knew I had a great trade. You have the market pulling back. The gray line is the SPY, and you had DE making a new high for the day on heavy volume, good relative strength. divergence. We have negative pressure coming in, and the stock is able to overcome the monkey on its back and move higher. We have all the ingredients for a great trade. If you're trading options on these stocks, $2 move, trade weekly options, you are going to make huge percentage returns on these trades. And we do trade options. That's why one of the criteria that I put in my search is good option liquidity. We can search for that. So I'm going to put up CI. That was another stock that I was in. And there you can see really nice grind higher. Market pulling back, stock is gapped higher. It starts to recover when the market is still drifting lower. We had that excellent volume reading back in here. It's above the prior day high. Grind, grind, grind higher. So really nice trade. Shop was another one. Got your big market pullback. You have strength relative to the overall market. You get your divergence. Look at that divergence there. You got the negative pressure and the stock moving higher. Boom. Big rally higher. Look at the volume right there. We're picking up on all of these things using the search. So right now, I mean, I've shown you enough. It took really nice gains on all these trades this morning. Let's see what we've got currently working. We're about 2.5 hours into trading, and let me put up the custom search. The custom search is so easy to use. There's no programming required. All you have to do is enter what you're looking for. And so in this particular instance, we're looking for strength versus the SPY. We can go on a 5-minute basis or we can go on a 15-minute basis. If you're a swing trader, you might want to go out to a 1 hour, 2 hour, 4 hour, even a daily basis. It's really up to you what your time horizon is for trading. We day trade a lot in Option Stalker. We also swing trade, but right now the market's been a little bit range bound, so we're sticking more to day trades. Very few overnights. There's the heavy volume indicator on a 15-minute basis. So we've got relative strength on a 5-minute basis. We have a volume spike on a 15-minute basis. We're looking for a stock that's above the prior day high, and we want good option liquidity. The option liquidity ranges from -10 to +15, so anything above 0 will give us good option liquidity. I click scan, and these results come back instantly. I've got a very, very good server farm, and all of these results are running. So take a quick look at these symbols here, and now I'm going to flip through them. I'm going to take this off screen so that we can look at the charts together. I'm also going to take off the SPY. We won't need that. We've got our indicator right here. If the line is above 0, this orange line, it means it's got relative strength. AMD I traded today. I mentioned it in my chat room, said it was really, really strong. Look at this big volume in here. Great relative strength. SPY pulling back. It's fueling higher. That is a slam dunk trade. And again, I'm not pulling these out of the air. These are right off of this list. It's that easy. And then you click on D1, and you can go to the daily chart. You can see a massive breakout here on big volume. So this stock has a ton of momentum. I'm going to go down to the next one. This is above major moving averages. You've got it bouncing off of this 200-day moving average. Interesting. Maybe not my favorite pick. So we'll just take a look at the daily. I like this. This is nice. Breakout here through horizontal resistance. You had a prior high. We're through that. Lots of room to the 200-day moving average. Very nice. Got a breakout to a new high of the day. Easy to trade. You enter here. You put your stop right there. If the breakout fails, you want to be out. You've got unlimited upside, very limited downside. Cheap stock too. It's a $5 stock, $5.40 stock. Comcast. That's It's moved too much for me to be interested on a 5-minute basis. I need to see a pullback on that. But this stock looks like it's ready to bounce, and it's still got some room to the 50-day. I'm just going to be flipping through. Dow Chemical through the 100-day. This is a very, very nice move through here, especially if it's on heavy volume. This will be a good one. This stock is going to go. If I'd have seen it earlier, I definitely would have traded it. Put the SPY up. You can see how it's strong relative to the SPY in here. And there you can also see market pulls back, stock treads water. Once it breaks through that high of the day, it's gone. We should also be keeping an eye on the volume spike so that you see, yes, currently we've got a volume spike right here, and that's what we're looking for, but you can see that the stocks had heavy volume all day. So Ford looks good. It's not a big mover, but I do like that horizontal breakout above the 200-day moving average. Grind, grind, grind. I like it. There's money to be made here. These options trade in penny increments, penny-wide bid-ask spreads, and they trade near parity. It's an $11, $12 stock, so you could just trade the stock as well. FCX. I'm just going through the list. That's all I'm doing right now. There's your volume spike right there. It's up on a new high. So you want to make sure that the stock is able to maintain its relative strength and that the market is strong. If yes, let's see what the daily chart looks like. You've got support right here on the 100-day moving average. Very limited downside, nice upside on a D1 buy signal as well. Looks great. Hog. Really nice through the 50-day moving average. You can see how the stock has just been grinding higher. And look at that move. And this has been on the list from back in here because I saw it earlier. And if you look at the video, you'll see Hog on there. Back in here, that's when you wanted to get in when it was at $42. It's made a 70-cent move right now. JD. Same thing. Big volume right from the open. Nice volume spike right in here. Yellow line, orange line above the 0 line. So that's relative strength. Breakout, buy signal. Hello. That's how we do it. We are looking for volume. McDonald's. Look at this. Got your right in here. You've got that same nice volume spike. I would not be buying it up here. I've got to tell you, I'm not going to be buying into something like this, but on a pullback, I certainly would. Ideally, we're finding stocks that are compressing too. Those are really the best candidates because you've got this powder keg building. You have heavy volume coming in and the stock is compressing. Ooh, are those good? Like right there. That would be great. I'm going to put up my compression study, and a yellow dot means that the stock is in a compression. And when you have that, like we did right here, stock in a compression, volume building, you have a breakout, it goes. And that's when we'd like to see these. There was Tesla from early today. 10 minutes into trading, I told everybody the stock looks good. Strong relative to the market. You can see the orange line is well above the 0 line. You have that breakout right there, and that stock goes up for another, it's at 306 at the time. It's up probably $8 or $9 since then. Big move. Take a look at the last two. This is compressing. This is nice. You've still got pretty heavy volume in here. Let's take a look at the daily. Breaking out to a new high. I like it. TXMD. I will probably end up buying this one. I'm going to put an alert right here so that when it gets through that price point, I'm going to get a pop-up alert, and then I'll be able to take a look at it. I'll evaluate the market. If the market looks strong, I will end up buying it. And UAA has also been on a big tear. We're starting to see some volume. Remember, this is a heavy volume search, stock above prior day high. Well, this stock is actually starting to reverse. This might give us an opportunity on the downside, actually, and I'll show you why, because I've been watching it. I'm going to put an alert here so that if it breaks to the downside, I'm going to know about it. I'll put up the D1 chart. Look at that run. That formation right there could be very bearish if the stock closes below the high and the close from the prior day. That could be a shooting star formation. So UAA looks good. Now what I'm going to do very quickly is we've had a nice market rally so far this morning, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to take a look for a stock that is below the prior day's low. I'm going to look for a stock that has heavy volume, and I'm going to look for a stock on M5 that is weak relative to the SPY and has good option liquidity. Let's see what comes up. Do you see how fast I ran that search? Boom, done. FAZ, that is a contra ETF, and it moves opposite of financial stocks. So this tells me that financial stocks are actually moving higher right now. But you can see how this is breaking down below that horizontal support level. We'll go to M5. And you can see how it has been drifting lower. So nothing really came up on the short side. I'm not too surprised, but I am going to pull up the search one more time, and we will go with a longer term weakness versus SPY to see if anything. We did pick up a couple of extra stocks, CVRR. You can take a look at that. All I did was I went with weakness on a 15-minute basis versus SPY, and you can see the orange line is below zero. Stock looks pretty weak. You can see how it's reversing off of a high here. This has good potential for a short if the market rolls over. So it's always important for us to have some ideas on both the bullish and the bearish side of the market. I post my trades in the chat room. I also do futures trades in the chat room. This is one of many searches that we use. And in the chat room, I'm posting my searches and saying, hey folks, right now, given the market conditions, this is a very easy search to run. This is one I think you should consider. I show them exactly how to configure it. And once it's been configured on the custom search, you can save that, you can name it, and then it will appear under my searches under whatever name you've created for it. So once you're running that search, you can just leave it running, and as new candidates come up, it will continue to populate. So if you want to make it as easy as just watching for new stocks to pop up in the search, you can do that also. If you've got one particular search that you're really interested in that's working really well, just run that one search, and every minute this will update real time for you so you can check to see what the stock is doing and what the market is doing. By the way, in Option Stalker, the data is real time. So it's included in the platform. You don't have to have a brokerage interface. If you don't want to, you can simply download the platform and run it and get all the search results real time. Thank you. I hope you join us.